Hi everyone, welcome to DOdaily, Tuesday training, Des here. Checking in briefly tonight. It's actually really late. I've had an extremely busy day, a good day, but extremely busy. I'll come back to the reasons why shortly, but as ever, Tuesday's about the training. I was up bright and early, encouraging the guys at the coaching session through DOdaily, the boot camp things I do here in Nottingham. So I was out and about by the Trent, but from then, I've had so much to do. I had to get myself to work. Then I travelled up to Grimsby, Cleethorpes, where Grimsby Town play. But those that don't know football, here's a bit of trivia for you. Grimsby actually play in the seaside town of Cleethorpes. So I took myself up on the train after work, really enjoyed that part of it, and that's kind of going to be what I talk about. But after getting there, I had some fish and chips, had a wander up to the ground, which is away from the centre of Cleethorpes even. So it was just nice to have that bit of time before meeting up with all the guys I usually go to football with these days and doing what we really enjoy when we're there. Thankfully, Forest won, got through in the League Cup, so that was pleasing. Good night all round, really pleased to have done it. One or two little issues for friends getting there, and not knowing whether I was going to get back caused a little bit of uncertainty, but it didn't put me off, and I think I was in such a good mood for actually travelling up there on my own. Whilst it could have caused me a problem because my friend had a flat tyre and wouldn't have been able to go to the game initially, and then for me to come back in his car, it could have been stressful. But I was just kind of whilst I was there, I was making contingency plans just in case, almost considering stopping over and then coming back tomorrow, sorting work out and one or two things. But it didn't come to that ultimately. The tyre got fixed and Ian made his way up there, and then we watched the game and come home. But what put me in such a good mood today was travelling up there on my own, taking a little bit of time this afternoon. I could have got a lift, and obviously we didn't foresee what was going to happen. I could have got a lift, but I just decided, because I had a bit of time, to jump on a train, take some time back for myself, perhaps send one or two text messages, do one or two little jobs whilst I was making that journey. And it just made me sort of understand that I'm totally comfortable with that. I love that kind of situation. Something I've done before. And whilst I'm always looking to understand why certain things make you feel good and feels like you're doing something important like that, that's how it made me feel, because it felt so good doing it. I had to then sort of research why these things are kind of important, what it says out there on the internet, why am I feeling sort of fantastic about sort of getting on a train. I kind of knew the answers, but I wanted to dig deep on the internet and read a few things. I watched a few YouTube videos myself, and the reality is, because you're almost pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, aren't you, by doing travel on your own. It was only a short trip to Grimsby, don't get me wrong. It's not as if I've gone backpacking around Europe or around the world or anything like that, which some people do, and they tend to do it to find themselves a little bit. I jumped on a train to Grimsby this afternoon, spent those couple of hours, and again, it just gives you that time to process everything. I talk about it at various other points in the week. Friday mornings when I wake up to walk, if I can get out on a Monday and get my activity in and sort of reconcile the weekend, and then on a Wednesday, of course, I'm always talking about checking in on how the week's going. So it's not something I'm not used to, but again, it's just another opportunity that I don't get very often, just to sort of understand why I'm doing something, why I get something from it, understand my own thoughts, be alone with those. And that's not always easy, is it, amongst the busy schedule? If I was travelling up with friends, I would have been sort of engrossed in what they're doing, and that's not a bad thing, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I never do that, but when you get these little opportunities just to take a bit of time, it's fantastic, and it almost makes you that little bit vulnerable, doesn't it? And that's what takes you out of your comfort zone. It makes you have to plan and prepare everything. I spoke about those contingency plans I was making, but because I'd done part of the journey on my own, it's almost like, well, sort of human nature kicks in and I need to look after myself, and what if this happens and what if that happens. But I wasn't starting from scratch, if you see what I mean. It was almost like I was halfway through it anyway, so I could just carry on that process of thinking how things could work out. Perhaps if we'd gone up in the car and then you don't know how you're going to get back, and there's people with different ideas and different thought processes, it might confuse things, and when people get stressed, sometimes they fall out. I'm not saying that would have happened in this case, but when you're on your own, there's no chance of that, is there? It's all about how you click into survival mode and sort yourself out, and then the small sort of achievement you get from doing that, and I think that's really helped me today. It's like I say, it's something I've done before. I've travelled somewhere and on my own to meet people and then come back on my own, particularly around football. It's something that tends to happen, because people are coming from all over the place and doing different things. I remember a case last year where I was actually away for the weekend, but then ended up getting a football ticket, and I spent sort of 12 hours on my own in 14. The 2 hours in the middle, I was with friends enjoying the match, but from sort of travelling from one place to another and having to prepare it, and then it just feels like an adventure. It feels brilliant. It feels like an even better day than it probably really is. And again, that's all comes from just sort of making that choice to do something for yourself. Like I say, travel, as I've said it recently, is so important anyway. Traveling to people, traveling with people, traveling without people. You seem to find yourself a lot more when you're on your own. And again, you can share these experiences. There's no harm whatsoever in that. And I've done that today. If I was travelling there to watch the match, it might have been a different... If I was travelling there to watch the match on my own, which I have actually done before, not to this particular place, but other places, it's not quite the same. But knowing I've got that bit of time to get there and enjoy it. And what I was getting to there, was travel and communication and taking pictures and making memories. They're all the important things that we can take forward, aren't they? The things that we should be looking back on, not the frustrations, the upset, the bad times, and these are what really make memories. And when you do something like that, like I've done today, I think it's really important just to... I thought it was really important to mention it. I'm always talking about this, I hate the word, I say this, but the self-development journey I'm kind of on here, trying to understand different things. Didn't have to dig deep and read about it, look at the internet, but I felt it was important to try and understand that a little bit better. I did understand it, I knew why I got so much from it, but again, just sort of reading it and in sort of plain English and in black and white, it just made complete sense to me then. And then when I do it next time, I'll probably feel a lot more at ease about doing it. I'll know it's going to be a great experience, and again, it'd be absolutely brilliant, wouldn't it? I'll just sort of go back to what I said about the worst case scenario. If I was stuck in Grimsby tonight, that would be enough to upset some people and really confuse them, and that's totally understandable. Not everybody is at ease with things like that, but fortunately I'm comfortable enough to be able to sort of do that if I really needed to. And it would have just been a little bit of an experience and a little bit of sort of doing something for myself, still being, of course, in a week, just over a week, I'm getting married, and me and Kay work together on a lot of the things we do, and I'm not sort of comparing the two, but we work as a team. That's fantastic. But sometimes you just need that sort of time to work for yourself and make it happen and feel the sort of goodness that comes out of it, and that's definitely been the case today. So I thought it was worth sharing. I don't know if it made complete sense, guys, but if it did, please give a thumbs up to this episode. I'm nearly at 700 subscribers, so if you could subscribe, that would be amazing too. I'm going to check out now. I'm really tired, as you can probably see, but still wanted to get that message on. You know, all I'm trying to do here is be honest, relatable, realistic. It has been Tuesday training. I've done plenty of walking. I've done the coaching this morning, and then I've got about everything else that I really enjoy. So whilst it's not the usual effort, you know, there's still lots in there and lots to take from the day. Hopefully for Wednesday workout, I'll be out there doing a little bit more, back with the running group tomorrow, really determined to get going after a tricky few days with the exercise. But what I have got to put on is a vlog from last Saturday, from the park run I took part in before the last football match I went to. Hopefully you enjoy that, guys. You see what I'm trying to do there. It's Project Part 1 PB. I'm in a frame of mind where I'm accepting it's not going to be a quick process, but it's still great to vlog it, let you know the ups and downs, just like the ups and downs of every day. Tune in for that from 8 PM. Again, give this episode a thumbs up and do subscribe if you can. Until tomorrow, just doing it.